Welcome back to Total Barnage. Welcome back to another episode. Today is a very exciting episode. We are joined with Mr. Harrison Walker.
Hello.
Ex-Barn gym coach.
Indeed. The best, as some say.
Yeah. It's coming on
some
a year
definitely
now.
don't. Yeah, it's coming on about a year now since I left.
You've definitely got a legacy down here.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say.
The legacy is kept with the boxing bag, which people sometimes punch.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. After my very violent sessions that I used to bring down here.
We had, Clive and Mark Clive and Mark were punching it the other day as part of their workout. That was quite... I was stood in here, I was watching it thinking...
Yeah, I did some witchcraft going on because I did feel some punches over the weekend. But
yeah.
It's great.
Well, I've put some bits of your hair on it and I've put your T-shirt on there and used some...
So got the hat with my name on it?
Yeah, no, it's blown off in the wind. I need to get the wig and the hat back on it. Once it's there...
To be honest, it does. For reference, for those, I guess we can insert a little clip here of the actual punch man himself. But it is a little bit freaky. Like you walk into the gym and just out the side, you see some very kind of pinky orange punch man.
I'm always watching.
And it did have a hat with your name on it.
Yeah,
it kind of looks a little bit like you as well, just a square face.
Yeah, it has been mentioned a couple of times. It does. Like so I was a bit shorter hair now. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Thanks very much.
So Harrison, so tell us, Harrison. What's your affiliation with this place, and what are you up to?
Well, so guys obviously been setting the barn up for a few years, and we've known each other quite a while now. It was over sort of that COVID period. Guys started bringing everything up here at the barn. At that point, I was in Leeds at university studying sports science, and I'm just playing a bit of rugby up there. So when I finished and moved back down, this was like post-COVID and everything like that, I was looking for a bit of work, and Guy needed a bit of help just with a couple of bits and bobs around here, just trying to get everything sort of properly started after all the restrictions and stuff had sort of finished. I came down, did some social media stuff for him, a little bit of coaching here and there, but nothing crazy at all. And then he sort of, after, I don't know, must have been 6 months or so, I'm still looking for this job that I was meant to get, because this was just meant to be me helping out before I sort of got something a bit more permanent. And then, it sort of just went naturally, wouldn't you say? And it just was like, I got my guy wanted another coach. So I said, look, just give me 6 weeks to go and do it. And I can come back and I can sort of help you out in that aspect. So then got the right qualifications, and obviously everything I did at uni sort of helped as well. So it was sort of like a natural progression in that sort of sense.
Yeah, we did our PT course at the same.
Yeah, we did. With Ian, great guy.
Funny guy, dry.
Very, very dry, but it was like sort of in a humorous way. He's a good guy, and I learned a good amount over that 6 week period. But as I say, I came back, and everyone sort of knew me before as well, because obviously I've been around, so it was probably quite a nice integration because everyone already knew who I was rather than people just starting fresh and things. So as I say, I've known Guy for quite a while, and it's sort of just naturally sort of snowballed, and I was here for what must have been about two and a bit years in total. And as I say, it was great. I loved being down here. It was all the members are great.
It's the summer,
the summer is the highlight. It's coming out.
It's coming like now to like October, where it's just outside.
Exactly. It's great. It's really great. Obviously, you got all the use of the fields and all sorts. So no, it's a really, really good gym to be involved with and been involved with, and it learnt me a lot, especially in what I'm sort of in now. As I say, if that thing just never, I always like to think that if that never naturally rolled together like it did, I don't think I'd be in the position I am right now, because sort of guys showed me that you can enjoy your job by doing this and also make a bit of money as well, which is great.
Yeah, what was the job that you were teeing up in the meantime?
What, before coming here?
Before coming here.
So no, I was looking into going into apprenticeships at like a lower level, at like a pro club, maybe second division rugby, or maybe even a little football. Obviously rugby was my main sort of aspect, and then also just in the meantime, even like working just on the building site or something like that, just so I can just get a scrounge a bit of money, because obviously I live just 10 minutes down the road, so I was living at my parents and stuff, and obviously once I was away from home for like 8 years, so wanting to sort of not come back from uni and then have to move back in with my parents again, which was a big change. So those 2 years I was coming down here, and that was sort of one of the aspects why I sort of felt like it wasn't right for me anymore. It was always right for me here, but I just wanted to sort of get out of the house and move away just for a little while. But yeah, those are the sort of jobs. It was just sort of, just as I say, it happened so naturally. It just sort of was silly to turn it down at the time. But yeah, I've always wanted to be involved in active sport. I'm just not a guy that can sit at a desk for hours on end, and I just think you two can probably relate in that as well. Yeah. There's no way of me sitting at a desk doing 9 to 5 or stuff like that. So that was a big no for me off the bat. But yeah, it was always meant to be active for me, and hopefully it can stay like that as well. Or practical, being outside. I've always liked jobs being outside, and
and it's always like ever changing, and conversation with different people, different clients.
Exactly.
It's always a tough one. I had such a similar thing with like wanting to get away from home. Is like even my like undergrad uni choice going all the way up to the northeast. Obviously you've gone up to Leeds. Yeah. It's kind of like I never even considered maybe London as an option. Yeah. And then I was like, right, I'm then going to go over to America. And then I come back, and it's only now. So you're in a different, we'll get onto kind of what you're doing at the moment. But yeah, for me now, it's like I've kind of got loads of what I need back at home. But I wouldn't have had that if I didn't go far away for a little bit, see what it's like.
Exactly. Take that experience and sort of realise like maybe, well, there are some benefits of being home. And it's not like I don't miss being home. I love being at home. I love being here. I love being with my family and friends and stuff. But yeah, as you say, like you need to get that experience sort of away, especially at uni, and you learn a lot of like, it's quite hard nowadays. There's a lot of pointless uni degrees out there, and people just feel like they have to go for the sake of it, which I think now people are starting to sort of retract on, because you get being practically good at something that you've done for X amount of years. Maybe some people think a different route is necessary, but as you say, it's important getting those life skills and those life lessons being alone. So then when you do come back, you just realise actually maybe this isn't me being at home or anything like around here is probably right for me at the moment. But no, as I say, I learnt a lot at university, and I learnt a lot here, which has sort of led me nicely into what sort of I'm doing at the moment.
Can you elaborate on what you are doing on the moment?
Right. So yeah, at the moment.
Yeah, why are you back here?
Yeah, so why am I back here? No, so last September. Well, actually, I could start when I left here. So my mum sort of encouraged me to look at getting into being a yachty. So going out and working on super yachts. I know from other people that I've spoken to at the time, they do look at personal trainers as well, because obviously if people are out partying or doing whatever on holiday for X amount of weeks, they do want a trainer on board just so they can feel healthy or for whatever reason. Guilty. Yeah, less guilty of whatever's going down. So I took the opportunity. You have to go and get your STCW and this little just safety things you have to go and get. And you sort of just take the leap. If people don't know already, it's a very saturated industry to be in. So if there's something that doesn't make you stand out, or you might have a little leg up with someone, it's very hard to get in. And because again, there's lots of people all around the world trying to get involved with it. So I went to, after I finished here last April, wasn't it? Yeah. End of April last year. I flew to the south of France and managed to get some work. Well, they said a week, and then it turned into 3 months. So I managed to use up all my visa.
How was it a week and then?
Well, so from now I worked out, it was like brilliant, a week. That's great. So I met someone on SDCW called Stu, and he knew it's like his mum's ex-boyfriend's like brother or something. He runs there's a little like fuel station down in Monaco where boats used to fill up, and he spoke to her. He spoke to his best mate who owns a boat across the dock from that fuel stop, and then he knew I was coming over and mentioned to them, look, I've got someone else coming over. Do you want any more day workers? Wow. And then that was it. They said yeah. Went in. Then they say a week, just because in case you're kind of shit, you can swear on this, can't you?
Yeah.
Right. In case you're shit, it's an excuse to sort of get rid of you. So once you find out, so they always say a week, and then they're always like, oh, we need you for the next couple of weeks. Is it right if you come down once they've got a feel for you and you're not a complete tit? You can sort of get around it. And then it turned into 3 months. I had the best time. Again, you meet a lot of people in this industry, and it's quite important.
Out there, weren't there?
Lots and lots of South Africans. Yeah.
Isn't it because their mums watch like Below Deck?
Yeah, well, I think it's probably a lot to do with that. I think like Below Deck is not what it's like. I think other yachties will sort of understand it's and you get asked the question all the time, is it like Below Deck? Is it like Below Deck?
And even when I remember, because I basically took over from you, and people would ask me how I knew Guy, and it's kind of like more I knew you or like through my brother. Yeah. And they'd always be like, oh yeah, it's Below Deck. And like, first of all, I haven't seen it. So I've got no idea. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not the right person to ask. Yeah. And second of all, it's probably not.
It's not. It's completely not. It's filmed over like a 6-week period, and it's not what it's like. And I've heard it's quite difficult once you've been on the show. Like, it's quite hard to sort of get more employment after that, because it's all meant to be quite hush-hushes around. Like, it's all it's all very, like, I can't really go into much detail about which boat I work on and things like that. It's because it's all very...
it's quite private, isn't it?
It's very private, and I understand why they wouldn't. But we can go into that a bit in a bit. But I like, as I say, it's nothing like what is it? Below Deck TV series. They film it over a 6-week period, and it's hard to get money, hard to get employment after that.
So what do people think it's like? So because I actually haven't seen it, but I just assume it's kind of
there's lots of like. Well, obviously you can. There's lots of like arguments, lots of booze flying around. It's like Geordie Shore, as I say, like on a boat. Right.
Yeah,
it's it's just not what it is at all.
Thank goodness.
It's all, a lot of it's staged and cut into certain things, and it's just not really, like, some of it is accurate when they're docking and doing things like that. Then but other than that, it's not really the same at all. They've obviously, all the people on there, they're not actors. They've worked on boats before, but it's not what sort of I would be really that keen on doing. Maybe towards the end, towards the end of my career. But I don't even think they'd want me. I've got a bit of a loud mouth sometimes, so I'm not sure.
Well, there you go. That's exactly why.
Yeah, exactly. But so the south of France, it was a good experience. Loved it, and then I came back after my visa finished. And sort of, again, once you've done those 3 months, it's good, but you're still next to nowhere in reality. Like, how many people? Some people go over to France. They'll be there for 3 months, use their visa, and maybe get to 3 or 4 days of day work that whole time.
Right.
So it's very competitive, very competitive. I was very lucky in what I got, and that's why I'm saying it's very saturated, because so many people think it's the people again watch lots of that TV show and just think, that's what I want to do. Their mums watch it, as a guy mentioned, and they sort of push them into it. In South Africa, it's a lot of people obviously there's lots of ways out of South Africa. I don't want to say that, but a lot of people see it as an option to get out and the ideal situation to get out. Apparently they only have like 2 yachts that every single South African that wants to get into yachting will practice on or do that. It's like an academy system they've got. So they sell these they sell like a load of courses you can do, like, because it's not just your STCW and ENG1, which is just a medical screening to make sure you're safe to work out at sea. You have to do powerboat stuff, which is the little tenders they drive around, the jet ski courses, the security courses. There's like hundreds that they try and sell. And then they're like, yeah, you'll get a job for sure. You're like cattle, you'll get a job for sure. And then they'll go, next load come in. It's like, yeah, you'll get a job for sure. And so they just keep saturating this industry with people going to France. And as I say, there's so many people there. They're only getting 2-3 days a day work and then having to go home, spend all this money, and then having to come next year.
Job searching.
Yeah, it is honestly, when you're green, it is pretty difficult to get somewhere with it. It might take, as I say, I was very lucky. Some people have to go 2-3 times back to France to gain enough experience there, so they can eventually find full-time work. But I was very lucky, as I say, and came home, was home for a month or so over last summer, and then my profile got found online from my captain now, and they needed a personal trainer and said, look, like, do you fancy coming out to America and working, becoming the coach on our boat? And I had to grab it with 2 hands, really. It was like, you have to take the big risks. I got my visa sorted and headed out mid-September last year. And yeah, I literally arrived back home last week. So it's been, I'm looking pretty brown. It's going to go.
That's why we covered our legs up today.
Yeah, I'm literally wearing as many layers.
I should have done the same. But yeah, no, I think the tan's going to go over the next few weeks while I'm home. But no, I'm glad to be home though. It's America's and all these other places that I've been to. It's not the same. Like when I rolled into the pub last week, it was just such a nice. It was a nice thing just to feel home again. Because it does get overwhelming. You feel like you're in a bubble, especially in this industry, and you want to try and get out and just try and get out of it for a little while and just come back to reality, really.
I mean, it's literally kind of like cabin fever.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is actually cabin fever. You get like sharing rooms and things. Like you get used to it. I've been sharing a room for a little while, but you get used to it, and everyone's really nice on the boat. It's just different. You're not having to like working and living with the same people the whole time. You have to try and keep it sweet with everyone.
How was it the first night back, sleeping in a room on your own?
Oh, it was great. Amazing. Get back, you just have your own space, make as much noise as you want, well within reason. And then that sounds so sick, doesn't it?
What sort of noises do you make?
Exposing myself. But no, make as much noise as you want. But you get what I mean. You can
the meditation
yeah, the oms.
Gotcha.
But no, it's you. As I say, you get into a bit of a battle with it, especially after 6-7 months. You're just like, oh mate, I'd do anything just for a full English, and there's nothing going on around here with it.
So you're based out of Miami?
Yeah, so I'm based out of Miami, Florida, West Palm Beach, Miami.
They don't do full Englishes
Well, they do, but it's like, mate, the thing what I have struggled in about America is just the amount of, like, I give this example, the bread over there just simply
sugar.
I've been around since the dawn of time, and it's 3 ingredients: yeast, water, and flour. Over there, you get a slice of bread, you've got like a Bible reading's worth of just ingredients and shit in this loaf of bread. And obviously, you don't know what most of it is.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm quite like, food conscious, and I don't want to just put loads of random shit. It's not being a precious white girl or anything. This is just me being like, it's not like all these really long jumblish letters. Like, I'm meant to eat this. So yeah, but it's just the quality. There's a lot of quality. You don't realise till you're away for so long. Like the food control we have in the UK is like second to none, I think, compared to a lot of others.
Yeah, mate. We had the same like when I was out in the States.
Of course, you'd know as well.
And even like we're in kind of almost like, you know, professional level athlete accommodation and like the, you know, canteens and stuff. And like, granted, you have athletes like discus throwers and people who literally just need to get calories in. But the breakfast choices were terrible. Like the cereal's so sweet. Nah. They'll have like waffles and syrup, and they'll have like maple syrup on every single table. And it's just like, I'm just there thinking, as an athlete, like I know I need to fuel as much as possible, but just the sugar content is so high.
It is abhorrent, mate. It is. So you walk past like in, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, and walking down the street, a little breakfast cafe or whatever, and there's people having waffles with fried chicken and stuff like, and syrup and bacon over the top. It's like, come on,
nice.
Come on. You get your head wobbled in the UK if you haven't that. It's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, so you do miss, as I say, you do miss home, and you miss being here or being a friend.
Top English things you miss?
Like
food-wise,
food, a pint for sure, because the beer over.
Wait, what?
Well, food. Oh, just food.
No, food and drink.
Food and drink.
Yeah,
Okay. Pint. Because the beer over in America is a bit
light.
Yeah, light. It's not like, you're not going to get a Harvey's or like a nice Kronenberg out there. Like, you have your standards like Heineken and things like that. It's mainly bottled though. That's the thing.
Oh.
So that's
sad.
It's
I
sad.
love it when Americans say they go out and they have 10 beers. I'm like, yeah, but that's 10 bottles of beer.
Yeah.
Not 10 pints.
Not 10 pints.
And their pints are smaller.
Yeah,
American pints like 100 ml.
Yeah, it is very different in that sense. But just your British classics, like, I don't mind like a pie and mash. You struggle to find that out there. Full English is, I've said already, I've mentioned. People have their own versions of it, but it's just not the same at all.
Like the bacon quality out there is poor.
Yeah, oh mate,
you know, there's no.
You don't even want to think about it. What else? I do miss M&S. Bloody hell. Yeah, like the wraps and the sandwiches and
There's
things.
No meal deals out there.
No meal deals.
Lunch is so hard.
Your lunch is so hard. To try and, like, if you're walking, even at like, without going into a restaurant, let's say you wanted to just go and get something to eat quickly, like, you look at these, you go to the petrol station and you just look, and there's like these sausages that have been rolling, that looks like they've been rolling since the dawn of time. It's just horrible. Like, and you have to, if you ever hungover or anything and you go in there, you can't look at it because you're going to boot everywhere, all over the floor, and everything's just so dried and it's just disgusting. So that's another thing that I really do miss, because people I actually got told this the other day when one of my friends, one of their partners came to America, from America to the UK, and they don't understand, like, the M&S, the wild bean that you go past at the BP or something, like, they don't think, maybe, there's an actual cafe here. Well, it makes sense because people have to come in and out of here the whole time. Like, they don't have the same mental thought in that sense of being in other than that big one in Texas or something. The Beaver or something. I can't remember. It's going to annoy me. That it's something like that.
The Beaver. No,
it's not the Beaver.
I know
it's not the Beaver. It's I don't want to. Oh yeah, I don't know what it is.
What is it? It's like a little yellow logo with a little.
Yeah, with a little like beaver on. Oh, we're gonna have to find that. I can't remember. Bucky's or something.
Bucky's.
I think that is it. Bucky's. I think.
Yeah. Okay, that rings a bell.
And it is generally the size. I don't like two of them massive Asdas you'd see, like those spaceships that are just in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely ginormous. Other than that, like, I don't think. It's always fast food, and there's not like a Waitrose or anything like that around. But I think that's probably around it. The food though is great. When you go into a restaurant, some really nice restaurants. But the other thing that I'm sick of is you're going to a nice restaurant, right? Really nice mood lighting, like, oh, it's really cool. You go around the corner, there's about 1,000 screens
playing all the
just pumped out everywhere, and it is really distracting because I'm like sort of
just want a nice dinner.
Yeah, I just want a nice dinner. No phones, TVs. I'm that guy. You see a TV and you're like, you are going to look at it, like especially when there's sport on or something. Even sport, I don't like.
But that's in like a nice restaurant.
Yeah, no, mate. You go into there was this one Italian restaurant in Clematis where we are in West Palm, and it's like you walk in a really lovely, like old style Italian restaurant, and you go to the bar to get a drink, and it's just whoosh, just screens everywhere, lighting up the whole room, and it's just the culture over in America, I think, and that's just the way it is. You're never going to change it. Like at the Bell or whatever, like Richard wouldn't ever put a TV in the pub because that's not what the pub's for. Like obviously there's a time and a place if the England football's on or whatever like of that in that sort of aspect. Then it makes business sense to get a TV in.
Yeah, they'll get a projector or something.
Yeah, a projector or something. But that is another thing. They're obsessed with screens, and you'll probably have the same thought as well.
Yeah. I mean,
in
it's
regards
just
to it,
shock. Like the only benefit, like going into sports bars where I was in South Carolina, like the only benefit of having loads of screens is that there's a lot to choose from for you to then ask to change.
Yeah.
So like, if I want to go in and watch, like the time difference was about 5 hours, which meant that all of the games were in the morning, all the football games, like Premier League games.
Yeah, they're all up morning, afternoon, really early afternoon if you're lucky, Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like, I'll rock up, go into town at like 11. I'll go in. Obviously, I have to say soccer, not football.
No, that winds me up.
The Premier League. Yeah, the fucking Premier League.
Don't get me started on that, mate.
And then like they'll say, which screen do you want? I'm looking around. There's probably, I mean, it's not much bigger than this room. It's probably like 4 times the size of this room.
Yeah.
Bar. And there's 40, 50 odd screens. And I was like, oh yeah, just chuck that one up there, and then I can just have it. As
yeah.
And it's great. But yeah, that's probably the only benefit.
It is abhorrent. But just culturally, it's very different. Lots of guns. Everything's very big, oversized. A lot of homeless people going around, especially.
Is it bad in Miami?
Yeah, you get it quite bad. Like obviously London is probably pretty bad, and Manchester and stuff. But yeah, there's not much help in that sense over that way. A lot of drug use and things like that, but you sort of stay away from those sorts of areas. But as I say, I think I do miss the UK a lot, but I do like America though. I have to say.
You didn't think you were going to like it before?
I don't think yeah, you're right. I didn't think I was going to like it that much. Just the stereotypical American or whatever it is, just stupid or fat, asking if you want cheese with everything. But I am presently surprised. I've had they are all. Everyone I've met has been absolutely great.
Do you want cheese with that though?
You want cheese with that? No, I don't want cheese on my ice cream, thanks. But no, it's I've been pleasantly surprised, and I've had the best time meeting everyone, meeting new people, especially in and out of the industry. And you become quite close with these people because realistically you're all in the same boat, in that sense.
Fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake. Nice. And you all just you're out there to look after each other, and you'll do really have a good time. You're just all there to just save a bit of money and have a good laugh with each other, and
So I'm guessing when you're on the boat, right, you're getting paid, but everything's for you. Everything's paid for you, like food.
Yeah, so food, accommodation. Obviously, but a lot of my friends didn't understand was they're like, so how long are you out there for? Like, where are you even staying? Like, do you stay in a hotel or? It's like no, I live on the boat. Like, I'm employed to look after this boat, live on it, make sure everything runs smoothly. She's an older boat, so she's 20. I think she's 2012, 2013, maybe a bit later. So obviously when you're exposed to the sea for that amount of time, there's a lot of bits that need needs sort of doing and keeping track of, like paint jobs and looking after the flooring and waxing and polishing. There's lots of things that need to sort of happen for it to keep as nice. We have done very well. Well, before me, they've all done really well. There's quite a high standard on the boat.
It's quite a large boat, isn't it?
It's a large boat, 63.5 meters.
Wild.
So it's pretty. It's what did we say? It was like 208 foot or something like that.
How many staff live on it?
So there's 13 or 14 that were full time on the boat.
It's crazy maintenance.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Then you go back to that show. Like there's like maybe not even 10 of them that are shown on this show. Even though there's engineers, you got officers, you got the captain himself, and then you got interior, you got the deckhands and bosuns and whatever else. And I think that's quite, compared to some boats, like you're thinking plus 100 meters, you're dedicated to a certain area of the boat, and that's where you work.
Right.
Which from what I've heard, it's not the same. Like it's very, you keep to your own groups. It's very cliquey and things like that. But I'm yet to experience it, so I don't really want to judge anything yet. But yeah, the boat I'm on right now is great. We've got a good crew. We all get on. There's not much animosity or anything at all. We've got good cooks. Food's great. But yeah, there's nothing I need to worry about personally in the sense of food or rent or paying tax or anything like that, because I'm working a lot at sea, so it's quite untaxable. But in the UK, we're one of some countries that don't worry about taxing people that are working abroad. I think it gets a bit more complicated than that. But I know there's some countries like Sweden and stuff that still will take tax from you if you're earning money abroad. So yeah, I'm lucky in that sense. But yeah, most things are sorted out for me. If I need, like my laundry gets done, there's a laundry stew, and there's stewards that go and sort out all the food each week. And so yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't say it's an easy life, because it's not. It's very high stressful at some points, and you're away from home, and there's other things and aspects that you take into consideration. But no, it's I've enjoyed it so far. I've had a great time, and I can't wait to sort of keep going and see where it sort of takes me. Really.
What are your hours? What is your shift pattern?
So it's 8 till 5.
Yeah.
8 till 5. I get an hour break. And then at the moment I get weekends off, just because we haven't had any guests on for a little while. The ship's in something called a shipyard period, so it's the engines are being sort of sorted out and serviced, and there's lots of things, so the boat can't go anywhere right now. But yeah, because of that, we sort of got weekends off at the moment, so they're pretty chill. But obviously that differs from boat to boat. If you're on a charter boat, not like me, you're going to be working nigh on round the clock for months on end. But you normally have you'll have a rotation or something like that. But which I'm not there yet. But in the future I will definitely, because that's when all you see on that show, where it's just like you get your tips, and that's
so is charter more desirable than what you're doing?
Yeah, in some senses. Some people go from what I'm doing now to a charter and then realise actually I'd rather work on a private boat, just because it's less stress and what have you. But yeah, it's very desirable in the sense of just earning a bit more cash.
Yeah.
You're a bit more active in that sense, so you're like taking people out more on jet skis and boats and whatever else.
I guess people were there for a party most of the time.
Yeah, that's it. Like, so that's the thing. When the boat's getting chartered out every other week, people are coming in there just wanting to have a good time and wanting to keep them excited and busy, really. So you're going to be active a bit more. You're going to be out. You're going to be training people a lot more for that instance. But no, it's good. I do want to get in there at some point, but I'm sort of happy where I am at the moment. Just sort of chugging along and just saving as much money as I can, really, which is hard out in West Palm Beach. But yeah, but it's good.
What are you spending most of your money on?
Oh, just sort of drinks and
big
food.
nightlife scene.
But yeah, the nightlife is pretty good fun. it's, as I say, you meet these people that are in the same industry as you, and you never know, that can lead to something in the future. So if you get on with them, and that's why it's quite important to keep social with people in the industry, because you never know, one day you might meet again, and there might be a position opened on a really desirable boat, and there's your next job, or it could just come from anything really. There's been some instances where people have like been in the same taxi, they've had to get the same taxi as each other, and then it leads to something else. So it's important. You don't just want to be sitting in your cabin the whole time. You want to try and get out and speak to some people. But no, it's been great so far. I've had a great time in that sense.
What's training like on a boat? I'm imagining if it's kind of like
So we were anchored out in Panama, and just waiting to go down the Panama Canal. And if no one knows what the Panama Canal is, goes through Panama. It's an easy ship links to get to the north of America, rather than going all the way down Argentina and all the way back up again. It was built I think it was during World War One. I know Donald Trump's trying to take hold of it again now, or something like that. So surprise. But no, we would wait out. Just you have to wait at a turn. There's only 2 big boats that can go at a time, and because it's so old. Anyway, I'd train out on the sun deck. There's some weights and stuff. There's a nice gym we've got on the boat. If you picture like a hotel gym, so it's got cross trainer, treadmills, seated bike.
Is everything bolted to the floor?
Yeah, everything's bolted to the ground.
Yeah.
And what else? We've got bands, lots of weights, pull down bars.
Cable machine sort of?
Cable machine. No, we haven't got a cable machine, but we've got something similar to like, it's like pull down, lat pull down and rows.
Yeah.
That's so you can sort of like take the clips off and sort of make other things come out of that. You can do some.
Gotcha.
You know, it's just a multi-tool.
Multi-gym
type thing. And then, anything else, medicine balls and yoga mats and whatever, skipping ropes.
But no squat racks.
No squat racks. Just for the sense of having plates around. Just on our boat, I know there are some boats that you can. But for our boat and our owners, it's just not really that necessary anyway. So it'd be pointless, and it's just a nightmare to have around, because you've got to move things around all the time. You're constantly having to clean things or move things around, so it'd be more of a nightmare than anything. But training on the boat itself, it can be a bit like, while you're running on the treadmill and you're going, it's hard to keep centre aligned. I've nearly fallen off a couple of times.
Yeah, I've done it on a cruise before.
Yeah, it's a bit
of a stupid thing to do.
It is, yeah. It is hard. It's hard to getting used to. But yeah, it's there's enough to do. So you just do circuits, lots of ab workout. You just have to sort of change the mentality, because obviously a guy would know, like I've always been sort of bodybuilding, and I'm wanting to do much weight as I can. But in that sort of sense, it's more just forget about that. You're going to have to you want to do that. You've just got to try and keep fit and keep everything as strong as possible, maintain everything. So there's a lot of circuits, a lot of high reps, a lot of things like burpees, box jumps, etc. Just to make sure that you're ticking over, because it's a mental game in yachting, especially when you're anchored out for a couple of weeks. It can be very mentally challenging. You can't get off this boat.
So you give them burpees.
Yes, you give them burpees. Yeah. So
does any of the rest of the queue not deal with it too well?
It depends. Some people are fine with it. Some people are not. It is challenging. It is like I've felt I'm quite mentally strong in that sort of sense, but after like 10 to 14 days anchored out, you are just like, you're going crazy. You just want to get off and just not feel the waves, or just go for a run, like a normal run, just on the roads. But
is it easier when you're sailing rather than anchored because you know that you're heading somewhere?
Yeah, for sure. Knowing that you're gonna be somewhere soon, or just having that, or you can go and have a beer out or something like that. It really does help you, especially when you're a really good mariner like we are in Rybovich. It's really, really, really good to be able to call that home for a little while. But yeah, being out at anchor sounds glamorous, especially on a multi-million-dollar yacht. But someday it really isn't. I explained to you the other day when we were coming back from Panama to get back to America on the final leg, and it was that period of when Jamaica just got hit by that major storm. It was around Christmas, before Christmas, wasn't it? It was like, October, November time. And we were trying to head back, and we'd been at this crap marina for 2 weeks. And we were desperate to get back, absolutely desperate to get back. And we were hitting on the way back like 4-5 meter waves on the way back, which is just 4-5 meters. Doesn't sound all that much to someone that doesn't know, but it is. It's a lot of weight and a lot of water that's smashing against the boat, taking you up and down. You have the most avid sea traveller feeling a bit queasy on that.
What do you do in those situations, like to stop yourself going crazy and to tough it out when the waves like that?
Work out.
Literally.
So that's what I would do. That would be my escape. And that's what sort of led me to keep training especially when I'm back at the dock. It's just, you've got to treat it as your only sort of proper time you can get off. Just have a bit of time to yourself, and just try and improve yourself in some aspect, whether that's mentally just getting yourself there as your goal, or trying to hit a certain PR, or whatever it can be. That is really, really important. Like for me, I've always kept a note on my phone on what previously I've done, that past session with that past lift. And it's like, right, I'm going to try and get half a kilo more, or I'm going to try and get even a quarter kilo more. Just try and keep on improving, and just let everything else take care of itself. As long as I just try and churn up each day, it has really helped me a lot. And then if you can do it, for me, if I can do it in the middle of the ocean and still have, even though there's times where the last thing I want to do is wake up at 5:30 before work and go to the gym. Like, it's just, but you just know you've got to do it, because I know I feel like absolute shit later on if I don't. So I take that sort of mentality, and after, you feel so much better after you've done it, especially when you're out at sea. It's like, okay, at least if anything else happens today, I know I've still hit the gym. I can maybe feel like shit after, and just wanting to get off the boat, for instance, or you miss being on land. You know that you've tried your best to try and ease yourself with it, because it is difficult. You can't underestimate. People think it's just, that's why it's so saturated. People just think, oh, I'll hop on a boat, I'll have the best time, I'm going to be drinking, I'm going to do this, that and the other. It's not like that. A lot of boats are not keen on you just using guest spaces and taking the piss a bit. A lot of the boats are just like, no, you're here to work, you're not here to party yourself, have an easy ride, just get money, don't pay tax, just don't pay rent or food. Like, it's, and
they can, I'm sure they can see straight through that.
Oh mate, and that you get found out quick time if that's the mentality you're going to go with, for sure. You're there to help the client or help the owner have their best time that they can. You're not there on a jolly just smoking and drinking or doing whatever you want to do. You're there to work, and then when you do get given some time off, that's when you can go and enjoy yourself and enjoy what's around you. Because it is important. Like, one of the reasons that I did want to do this was because of the traveling. So it's not like they're going to keep you like hostage on a boat. Yeah. They'll let you go out and travel and do whatever within reason. But you are there to work and sort of look after whoever is on the boat themselves, whether that's charter or private, really. So no, but as I say, wanting to just finding an escape. That could be reading a book or going to the gym or whatever, playing video games or whatever it is. People have their own, but that's my way of sort of getting through it, because it is tough, for sure. Especially those first few weeks, first few months, it was tough.
Especially once the novelty wears off, and and it does sound like the charter boats is very much like you're going to get an intake of people this time, like adding more energy. Yeah, it does sound like more real life.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
People join the gym, they get a bit of motivation, and then after a couple of weeks, you're like, okay, this is just new.
Yeah, 100%, 100. That is exactly what it is. Especially when the novelty rolls off, you're like, fuck, I've got to go and do it again. I've got to serve this person again, or I've got to coach this person again. It can be very mentally draining, but you just got to know when, like I am now, like I'm on holiday now, I've worked hard for 7 months, and now I can just enjoy my time off and just see my friends and enjoy myself a little bit.
What is the I'm interested in the kind of negotiation you have in your head at 5:30 in the morning when you're kind of like,
so
you probably got an option maybe to do it in the evening.
Oh yeah, I do, for sure.
What's your...
So my mentality of it is, one, I've always been more of a morning person. So I've always had that in me of just wanting to get out and do it, rather than have all day just to long it off at the end of the day. I like the gym, but it's not something like I'd want to, I want to say wake up at stupid o'clock in the morning, but I do. When I'm there and I've finished a session or finished a certain lift, like I'll go into a leg day, I'll go and do some quads or something, and I've got thick plate squats or what have you. It's all I'm just like, I cannot be fucked to do this. But it's just something I know once I've done a long day's work in the heat and I'm tired, I'm not going to do it later. And then in bed, I'll feel awful that I haven't done anything. So I'll wake up, my alarm will go off. I'll just lay in bed and I'll just count down from 3. And I'll just go 3, 2, 1, just sit up. Just sit up.
And that works for you?
That works for me. Just sit up, get out of bed, brush my teeth, and just get out. Maybe have a coffee or a pre-workout, depending on, and just go. There's no thinking about it. Just do it. And then when you get there, it's already too late to turn around. So you might as well just get on with the session and just try your best. It's been days where I'm really tired, but as long as I'm there and I'm making an effort, that's all I can ask for. I might not hit PRs every time. I might not even get close. But as long as I'm working my hardest, that's all that really, really matters for me in the sense, and let everything else just sort of take care of itself.
Yeah. So it's so good. Have you ever gone to the gym and then cut a session short, or literally gone there and then gone back to bed?
Not gone back to bed.
Genuinely, like as soon as you're out of bed?
As soon as I'm out of bed, I'm there. I've had a coffee. It's like, and as soon as I have that coffee or something, it's like, well, I'm not going back to sleep now anyway, so I get up. But yeah, there's been times where I've been maybe running slightly late, or I've had to end the session early. But no, I just try. I get in my head that I always just want to try my best and try and improve. You see that whatever number it is, it could be 20 kilos you did the week before. It's like, just let's try 21 or 22 and a half or whatever. Just try and get better. And if it doesn't matter, if it doesn't work or you can't do it, it doesn't matter.
Does anyone else on the boat get up that early and train?
There's some that do. I think since I've got on, a lot more people have been a bit more conscious. It's not like they're never conscious about fitness beforehand, but I think some people see that I get up every day at that sort of time, and feel like, I think they feel a bit guilty that they don't. So it doesn't stop them going. Like some of them go in the evening, which is fine as well. some days I will go in the evening. Sometimes I'll do 2 sessions. Sometimes I'll just do one in the morning. Like it's all very different for different people. And even when I was here coaching, I always said if you, because some would just come for maybe a couple of sessions a week and then go to another gym that they've got a membership or whatever. Just when they're on program, just try and get there in the morning. Just try and get there. I know some people it doesn't work, but getting there in the morning, making yourself feel amazing 110% before you've even stepped into work or whatever job you've got will help you massively, not just like in the short term, but long term. You'll feel so much better. You'll have so much more mental resilience and making yourself do that. For me, just because some people have really hard jobs. If it's not physically, it's mentally, just sitting at a computer screen for 8 hours of the day. The last thing you want to do is go to the gym, but you have all that day to sort of, as I say, long it off and not go. So that's why I always recommend to try and get people to go as early as you can.
And also the benefit is that like evenings, especially let's say like a Monday evening.
It drives me crazy. Especially when people are just sitting there on their phones or whatever. that riles me up. But no, it is that. It's so busy, especially in the gyms in the UK. And you see them videos online and it's just all people are at school still and just standing around and doing nothing. There was that Pure Gym video I saw that not so long ago, and it was like people queuing to use certain things. It's like, so you don't ever get that in the morning, but in that sense, I've read a couple of studies that you're always going to be slightly stronger in maybe mid-afternoon, just because your body's more awake and you've had a bit of food. Like I normally fast, so I'll wake up, have a coffee, and I won't eat before. I might have a banana or something, or a kiwi or something. But I just find I train a lot better when I'm sort of got an empty stomach, or maybe I've had a coffee or something like that.
You quite often get a bit sick when you train.
Though. Yeah, exactly.
Close before.
For sure. Especially if you're, like again, I'll bring up squatting or what have you. You just don't want, when you've got 150 kilos on your back, the last thing you want is a big chili con carne in your stomach. Because that is just going to be projectiled all over the gym floor.
You eated that at 6 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Chicken.
Chicken and waffles.
Yeah, chicken and waffles. Yeah, with my syrup.
Waffles, bacon, syrup.
Oh no. Yeah. But no. So yeah, I've always tried to stick to an empty stomach. Even before, I'm sure we'll get onto a bit of rugby as well. But even before games, I'd struggle to eat. But when I was younger. But no, it's, for me, it works better in the morning, fasted, with a bit of coffee or a banana or something, and just get down and just work hard for an hour and a half. And that's all you can really ask for. And then when you get those days off of rest, which is also important, I'm not doing that every single day, because rest is just as important, but you deserve your rest days, and you feel good that you know what, I'm not getting up at 5:30 tomorrow. I'm getting up at 7:30 or whatever it is. So you enjoy it, and it feels rewarding in that sense for sure.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about bit of rugby. Is that how you two met? Is that how you two got to know each other?
Yeah, for sure.
We used to play each other when we were like.
Yeah, we used to play each other. You're at Quins as well, weren't you? Yeah. So yeah, we both played Quins for a while, and then
we played against each other county.
Yeah, county. Well. You played for Cranbrook. I was at Heathfield Rugby Club, and yeah. So I think you met Sam, didn't you? I think that's how it was. And I've known Sam for a long time, since maybe we were like 7-8 years old. And I don't know how you and Sam actually met. I don't know whether it was through someone else. Or
I think we just started training in Pure Gym in Tunbridge Wells together. I can't remember how that even started? Sam might know.
Yeah, I think it was probably just some mutual
Like
friend
when we
or
were
something.
Like 15 or whatever.
Yeah, so Sam actually, he sort of, I remember going to the gym like properly first time with Sam, which sort of got me on the gym trail. But you met Sam, and then you got introduced because then we both joined Tunbridge at the same time, didn't we? Before we won that national cup. And
what game? Or against Lid?
Against Lid, the Lim. That was Lim. I can't remember what their full name is. It was Lim Rugby Club in Manchester. They're based. So we won that. But we were coming back from training one day. It was like one of the first training sessions, and Guy needed a job. So I was working at the reclamation yard in Stonegate.
Right, full circle.
And it was like, do you think you were like, what? Yeah, what do you do? And I'm like, I clean bricks. I'm cleaning bricks. And then so I emailed Mark, the owner at the time. Not the owner, he sort of ran it, and he said, yeah, Guy can come in as well and help clean bricks. And then that was it, really.
We cleaned bricks for like 3 summers.
Yeah, it was like 3 summers. And then you and Sam started working there full time at one point, didn't you?
Yeah. And then Jamie joined.
And then Jamie Pryke joined as well.
There was like 4 of us all working there. And you just clean bricks all day.
Yeah, and it was so you got paid like 5p a brick, and you'd get, and you were I just remember my wrist. Yeah.
But no, there were some bricks which like 20p.
Yeah,
bricks,
some
10p bricks. Like some are more complicated.
Yeah.
What were you cleaning them with?
Just it was like a paint scraper or a chisel and hammer, and I just remember having like Heart or Radio 1 on like the whole day. Playing the same stupid songs.
We had some interesting guys.
We had some interesting fellows.
We came out of prison and he was proper sketchy. Can you remember him?
No, I can't remember his name.
He was
weird guy. Weird guy.
Oh, was in prison?
I can't remember.
I dread to think.
I can't remember.
Looking the state, remembering the state of him, I would dread to think what he was in for.
He was a real anxious wreck. And yeah, we would just, because it would be me, Jamie, Sam and Harrison, we were like mates, and we'd kind of like, we had the shit job of the yard, right?
Yeah.
We were the people cleaning the bricks, moving the heavy things.
Yeah.
Like, and he did it with us. He kind of just be like, well, he was very private.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't.
But you'd be like one of them psychos, you just don't know what they're thinking. Like they could be thinking, you could have a kill list or something like that.
Weird eyes.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He had these weird eyes where he'd kind of look into your soul. And he'd never tell. You'd be like, what you got up to this weekend, mate? And he'd be like, nothing much.
Yeah, mate, I've been up for 4 days. I haven't slept yet. So yeah, that's how we sort of met. And then we won the national cup with each other in, what was that, 2017? Yeah. Bloody hell, that's nearly 10 years ago now.
And then went on.
Which is awful. And then from there sort of kept in contact on the fact that you're just down the road. And obviously Sam was with us as well, and that was sort of how we sort of met in that rugby space. But no, rugby was class, especially at Tunbridge. It was great, and it was still. Obviously, I was playing there only till recently, since I started doing this job. But no, the rugby. I've always played rugby, which sort of went hand in hand in the gym. So that's sort of, especially when we were at Queen's and you did some gym sessions at Brighton College and stuff, didn't you? So we were doing that, and up at the up in Surrey as well, at Surrey University. So that's how I got involved with the gym, and the rugby sort of is like a natural progression almost. So you had to sort of train, and
you had to go to the gym if you wanted to play a high standard.
Yeah, mate, 100%.
This was when you were around like 16, 17?
Yeah, this was. Yeah, we were like what? Well, that was before then. I think I was at Harlequins till about I think it must have been under 16, under 17, or something like that. And then I played at county level, and then played at Tunbridge.
Played at uni.
Played Super Bucks at Leeds.
How was the uni experience of rugby? How
it was there's a lot, obviously, to TJ's is in rugby, flat out, you get quite close with the other players on your team, because you're all in it together almost. When it's sunny, rainy, cold, like you always turn up to training. You always, if you're losing, if you're winning, like it brings a lot of camaraderie, and that's why like I think it's important to have the social aspect of rugby as well, and I think it sticks around. Like it's like a bit of a drinking culture. A bit,
Slightly.
a bit slight. By comparing it to football or anything like that, well, other than like probably cricket or something, like with a good drinking culture, it's just as much, or golf or whatever it is. It's important, especially as you're young, learning, because obviously everything that's going the way it is now with health and safety and things like that. A lot of parents are getting put off with the aspect of throwing their kid into rugby, which I think is quite sad.
Is that mainly on the concussion side of things?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. It's maybe not just concussions, even though that is really important. The whole just being injured, or just the thought of someone hurting themselves, is a bit scary to people, but it sort of makes you as a person, and I think I'm a strong believer in it. If it happens for a reason,
How was your mum watching you? Did your mum used to be able to watch you?
Yeah, my
mum hated watching.
Yeah, I think my mum didn't come too much, but she was there a lot. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but my dad loved it. Like, my dad was all over it. But yeah, my mum,
they get affected more.
Yeah, I think they get more. I think they get a bit more scared in that sense. But yeah, my mum was always very supportive of it. It's always about having a purpose. It's all about just having a purpose, and rugby was my purpose. And that was just with, as I say, I'll get onto it at uni. But even as a kid, when we were in at Heathfield, just going on tours to Isle of Wight or tours wherever we went. Like, you make friends for life in that space, and it's kind of sad that it's going the way it is, just because it just makes you as a person. It makes you as a young lad. People are going to be bigger and stronger than you. Well, when my brother was playing, they changed the rules that no one could win. So
how old's your brother?
So my brother's now 18.
Okay. Right.
So
I remember you telling me about this.
So at any tournament. So when my brother was, I don't know, he must have been from the ages of like 7 to like 13. You'd go. When I was a kid, and you as well, you go to these all-day festivals and you try and get to the final and win it.
Yeah, you're in the cup.
You're in the cup, you're in the whatever, yeah. They scrapped all of that because too many kids were getting upset that they were losing. So now they go to these tournaments and no one keeps score. So you don't keep score, there's no winners, everyone's a winner. No one loses, and I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. And I understand why they're doing it, in the sense of to keep the popularity and keep people playing in the sport, just because it is a bit shit, and we've all been there. Like, we'd go to teams and absolutely pump them because we were so good, and you're doing them, like, I don't know, like 105 to like 5.
Yeah. Should stop.
It is shit.
Stop at 50.
No one gets anything out of it, and I sort of understand why they did it. But you've got to learn how to lose in life, and for my brother to not go through that, I find it a bit. He's sound anyway, but you know what I mean. It's all about getting to the final, and then if you lose, it's like you've spent all day, but at least you've got something out of it, and it is kind of sad the way rugby's going. Obviously the concussion things is so important, obviously, over everything that's sort of changed over the past 20 years, especially with professional rugby.
Yeah.
It's vital that they get it right, and all the high tackle stuff is important, but you don't want to lose the essence of what made rugby, really.
Yeah. It's very difficult to make safe as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like, when they started to get people to tackle really low, I think they brought it in for a season in the school season in South Africa or New Zealand, I can't remember. And they brought in the law where you can only tackle from the hips down, or like the belly button down. So they basically wanted people to tackle really low. And then the problem was the concussion rate went up because there was more head on hip and head on knee and head on shin. So really, like, the safest place to tackle is like just above the knee to like the bottom of the rib cage. Like, that's
for sure.
That's the safest place to hit. But so as soon as you start going towards the knees,
you're aiming towards the knees.
Someone's running full blast at you. It's so dangerous.
I'd rather take a shoulder to the head than a knee to the head.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you get those lanky fuckers that run with all their knees.
Yeah, run
like,
knees up.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Exactly. And
tackling a bone.
Yeah, it's. I've had some pretty gnarly injuries, but as I say, it makes you. I'm not scared of it. It happens, and you sort of learn from it, and you move on. And it's just so people are so scared nowadays. It's difficult for parents to sort of let their kids get involved, and especially that's why the school level in other countries is just so high. Like, obviously, I lived in Australia for a while. Like the private school level with Joey's and Scott's College and Riverview and all them sort of schools is so high because they sort of let them start tackling at a sort of young age, especially in South Africa. Like, it's you're tackling from the ages of 8 years old.
But they're getting like 10,000 people down to spectate.
Yeah, and you get some, you have to go. Like, kids have to go to school on a Saturday just to go and watch the first team play, which wouldn't even be dreamt of in what's going on here. So it makes it a bit of occasion. It gives that purpose to be involved in a sport because other people are relying on you, and that's sort of, I want to say it's sort of disappearing, and people are just not really caring as much, especially towards like the England team, the England setup. When I was younger, you'd had remember you could get England tickets through the rugby club, and things like that. They don't do that anymore. They're selling corporate tickets, so people are out there just for the day.
It's like a close path from being able to play rugby and then watching it.
Like exactly.
Amateur to pro level is just not.
It is just. Accessible. It is so. Yeah, it's so out of touch, and the corporate side of the whole rugby sort of thing. It's just changed the whole dynamic of it. Like Twickenham isn't the place it used to be anymore. It's called the Allianz now, isn't it?
Yeah,
for some reason. That's such a shame.
I have to admit, it was better the last time I went to Fiji game. So, for perspective, if you want to watch top team play, I was looking for Dad's birthday. I was going to get him tickets. And I thought I'll get England, New Zealand, and each ticket was like 450 quid.
Yes, it's a joke. It's a joke.
So it's like 900 quid once you factor in trains, well over $1,000 day out and food, etc.
Decent seats or just any seats, pretty much.
They were right, but if you wanted to be right up, like the cheapest seats, you're looking at 300, but you're so far away. Do you know?
Yeah.
But then for the same cost, I got 5. Not even the same cost, like less. I think it came out at like 600 quid, but I got 5 tickets to England, Fiji. But the thing is, it's the big games, like go and watch New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, where that you go watch big fixtures like that as a kid. You're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, exactly that.
And it's becoming more expensive, less accessible. And then the Premiership's gone down from like 14 teams to what, like, is it 10 now?
I think it's 10 or 12 or something like that.
No, it's 10 now.
Is it 10?
Yeah, so they've lost teams in the Prem, and one thing I always think is like the Southeast is one of the most concentrated private schools and grammar schools in England, and so loads of rugby played down here, and you don't have a professional club, which is really like the closest thing. You've got Harlequins,
wasn't that?
You got Quins.
Yeah, that is
a slot to get there. Like, that's why like a lot of people don't like going.
It's not going to Twickenham, innit? It's just down the road, and it's just such an effort to get to, especially from down here. It is mental.
But I think if there was a massive club in like Sevenoaks, or if Juddians end up really progressing and getting investment, Like they would pack that stadium out week
For
by
sure.
week, but just locally here, there's not enough high level, like really high level rugby to go and watch.
What would you put that down to?
There are a few, perhaps poor
I
management.
think, yeah, it's just so ancient up at the top of the RFU. Like, it's so old fashioned.
They're already just set.
It's just,
Make
yeah,
plans.
they're just set. They're set on it. And obviously, there's not as much financials as there are in, obviously, football or anything like that. And there's probably a lot of things that sort of cohere to it in the sense of that whole safety aspect with it, with the parents as well. Like, there's not as many kids going through. But I don't know why there wasn't a professional club closer in this area. As you say, as Guy said, it's like there's loads of private schools. You've got the facilities.
Yeah.
Why there isn't, I don't know. Tunbridge is one of the best schools for rugby around, for sure. Obviously got Brighton College, Seaford College, my old school, really good at the moment. Hurstpier Point, they're all very good rugby schools.
You get a couple people coming out of it, like obviously year above you guys was Ben Earl.
Yeah, Ben Earl.
That Tunbridge school year was incredible, and then as soon as they left, then your year comparison was
there was
atrocious.
There was no solid players. I mean,
there was, and then there's Marcus Smith. Obviously went to Brighton College. He's the year above us. And then there's from our year. Well, you got Ollie Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ollie Lawrence coming through. He was our age. But other than that,
yeah, he was.
I
used to tackle him.
Yeah, mate. I remember playing when he was at Bath. When he was
frightening.
Mate,
he was Worcester.
Yeah, he was at Worcester. Sorry,
Yeah,
he's at Bath now. He's at Worcester. Yeah, and I remember playing him a couple of Jesus.
But I've got at my school we had a couple of lads who are now starting Saris, like Harvey Beaton and Brandon Jackson. And there's another lad, but he joined just after I left. But they're starting week in, week out for Saracens now, which is quite cool to see. But yeah, again, like Saracens, it's North London, so like you playing academy stuff there, it's a long drive.
It's a hell of a trek.
They're thinking about maybe opening like London Wasps were thinking of maybe opening up a
Sevenoaks.
stadium in Sevenoaks area, which would be great. Whether or not that actually goes ahead and they get the planning permission for it, and how they'd fit back into the Premiership, would they have to get promoted and all sorts, because they're kind of set on 10 teams.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the reason why I obviously I liked playing at Quins and it was good fun, but I realised like everything was just so serious at the level, and like everything you did was just analysed, and that's where I'm just not in my comfort zone almost, which is something I'd have to get over if I wanted to go further in rugby. So I just hated like not being able to just play the game and not feel judged at all, and everyone's sort of there in that sort of situation. Everyone's there for themselves almost. Like you're a good load of players individually, and they just put you together, and you're expected to sort of just train maybe every week, once a week or once every couple of weeks, and get it right. Where I preferred the whole going to training twice a week and getting to know people really well, becoming friends, and learning how each other play, and doing it sort of together, where instead of when we were kids, once every month or something, you're playing at Harlequins. And
it was a weird culture, wasn't it?
It was weird. There was a clique. There was a few cliques with people, and like
the lads who've been in since they were 13.
Yeah, lads that have been there a long, long time. Some of them are pro now, I think. George Hammond, he's playing in Japan at the moment, and
Hugh Tizard.
Hugh Tizard. And then there's that ginger lad who's the 9.
Sonny
Jardine.
Yeah.
And then there's that ginger lad, that ginger 9. He plays for Gloucester now. I can't remember his name. He kicks for him as well.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he was a good lad.
It's always interesting to see who makes it pro. Those lads, because it's such fine margins.
It is fine margins.
The centre, what was he called? Big dude. He's starting for Quins week in, week out. What's his name? Anyway, fair few lads who've made it pro.
Yeah, and they got it. They sort of liked it. I was just the opposite. I'd sort of, when there were players that I knew that were better than me, I'd sort of go into my own shell and just feel like it's not. I hated the pressure, but it's something with age you sort of realise, and you sort of regret in that sense, like, because you were meant to be there for a reason, but you didn't take the opportunity. But as I say, like, this leads back to everything happens for a reason, and like the fact that like Guy got his shoulder injuries and back injuries, so he didn't join the military, and now you're doing what you're doing now. So everything sort of happens in that sort of sense. But like when I finished at Quins and with the whole rugby thing, I started playing at Tunbridge again. They're good level. They're Nat 1 now at the moment, which is the 3rd division, Premiership Championship, Nat 1, yeah. So I was playing them last season when they got promoted to Nat 2, and years before that. And I just realised, like, if you wanted to go pro, like, you'd have to get a championship position. Then you're training twice a week without fail, maybe with a job on the side. If you're not lucky enough to get like a pro contract, which is very rare in the championship anyway. And then maybe play X amount of years in the championship with all these injuries and so on and so forth. And then you maybe even get to the Premiership, and you're making good money, I guess, but not.
Still got to be top.
You still got to be top, and if you're playing for England, then there you go. There's another leap you got to give, and so it's a lot of sacrifices for something that, like, don't get me wrong, I love playing, but especially at the moment I watch the England games. I don't think I've watched a Premiership game in a whole Premiership game. Was probably maybe the final last year, if that. Maybe not even watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Was that what it was with the guys that, you know, were the ones that kind of thrived under the kind of like that competitive aspect?
Yeah.
Like I say, you kind of went into your shell under pressure, and they might rise straight through it, and they fuel off of competition between each other.
100%. Lennox, that's it. That's it. Yeah, he's a year below us, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing well now. Yeah.
It's so interesting because you know what, at that teenage level, you do kind of look at it, and once you get to that academy level, you can see, okay, there's a kind of maybe a clear-ish line between the academy lads and maybe county level. But once you're in that bracket, I was talking to Andy the other day. I was like, how do you tell who's going to make it pro? And he says the biggest thing is the kind of like the hunger to learn and keep improving. And it's generally the lads that are talking to the coaches, how can they improve their game?
Speaking out in groups and things like that.
Speaking out, and also just hungry to develop. But that, they don't teach that culture. It's kind of expected. Yeah. Which is, I think, for when you're young and in this academy setup and thinking, oh, maybe pro rugby is an option for me, you're quite confused because you finally got the thing you've been working so hard to get. You're like, shit, I'm playing for Quins, you know, this is cool. But there's a lot of pressure on you, and it is very difficult. Like, talent-wise, you look around and you think, okay, how's he made the England team? Is he that much better? Like, it's very difficult to tell. I think as players mature and it thins out, people get into good universities and get good careers, and then there's a natural thinning process. But the talent difference, you know, you played with some people who are playing pro at the minute, and you're like, were you that much better than me? You know?
That's it. But that's it, though. And pressure makes diamonds, you know, and some people got it, some people don't. And, like, let alone being in that high pressure situation in an actual professional manner, like, I wasn't cut for it. But realistically, that's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, I just enjoyed rugby for playing it. You know, I didn't do it for so many years. It was maybe when I was younger, I wanted to be professional, especially when I was at Harlequins and things like that. But then as you get older, you come to realise that there's more to life than just...
Should we go have a runabout for TJ's 2 next week?
Yeah.
That'd be a laugh.
That would actually be quite fun. We could actually do that.
Have a little runabout message. Who's the?
Oh, the season might have finished. Oh, yeah. Mudger.
Just see if there's one more game.
There could be one more game.
Get me, you, and Sam for a runabout. It's hilarious.
I'd come and watch that.
We played a handful of games to them, and I forgot to go to the award ceremony. And apparently,
you won like top try scorer or something. You played like
4 games.
No, that was it. But no, it's
you're saying about kind of more to life.
There is more to life. There is more to life than it, and like especially, I'm an avid sportsman. I love sport. I love football. I'm going to football tonight. Brighton Hove Albion supporter. I love just the camaraderie you get with people. But as you say, it's more to life than just getting injured and getting smacked about and playing rugby the whole time.
It's a proper value judgment, because I'm kind of going through it at the moment after a couple of years of injuries. And I understand wholeheartedly why people would drop out of the sport or stop aspiring to be at a really high level. And I think it's almost down to, and it's a thing within running now, like slightly different with rugby, because it's probably more necessary to have that continuation from teenagers because of the amount of strength that you need, because the amount of skill that you need. You need to play all the way through, right? So you might need to play through injuries. Yeah. Whereas there are runners now, like one of our best GB, like middle distance runners, Georgia Hunter-Bell. She took time out of the sport in her 20s for 4 years. She's come back. She won world silver medal over the 800 at the age of like 31, 32. She's now coming into her prime.
That's insane.
And it's like the type of the sport for as runners will afford you that, because you probably, you can take the time out, but then you can come back into it with a more like a fresher perspective and less pressure. Like you realize there's more to life, which means there's less at stake if you do lose.
Exactly.
But then if you are, I can imagine like the times when I've had the most pressure is when I've just been focused on running as the sole thing for like my identity, which is a benefit because the ego is really helpful, right?
100%.
If you've got lads that come into Harlequins and they've been told they're the best at their school, they've been told by their parents that they're the best, they're going to make it to the top, that is really beneficial for then they go into that. They've got the ego, they're not going to go into their shell, they're going to kind of like speak up, they're going to want to learn, they're going to be the person, and that's going to get them to the next stage.
Yeah.
Of course, you get to a point where if that's the only thing you got going, you might get to a point in your career where if everything's pinned on that game, it's a bit of a knife edge where it's really, really good. And it's shown like, studies and anecdotally and stuff I've experienced is identity, more attachment to the sport with your identity makes you perform better. But then also when you lose, it's double as bad as well, right?
It's just as bad.
The thing is with rugby, I think you'll probably find it is like when I got back into it kind of post-COVID, me and all my mates joined Cranbrook and, we pretty much restarted a new first team. And there was like 10 of my mates came in and we got like double promotion 2 years on the bounce. And it was good fun because it was actually playing a decent standard. I think we went like a whole season without losing the game. It was probably quite unfair because just went into a league.
Reason for that.
and then we kind of got double promotion and then everyone left and then that was quite fun. And then I kind of went over to TJ's and it's like the sacrifice, right? You're putting your body on the line week in, week out. But
as well as the training.
And the training on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays. And then what it was is just if I wanted to make the commitment to play for a really good club or go push for ones, right? The time commitment it takes. There's so much commitment that goes into it. Wasn't really possible for me. But at least you get to play at a standard that you're used to, where there's not drop balls all the time. People aren't just making silly penalties, and there's a flow to the game that you understand. When I was like, okay, I just want to play the occasional game, you can't play for those good teams. So you kind of take a step back and you start playing for clubs. And maybe it's a bit of the ego, but sometimes it's a bit frustrating when you're used to just slick phases and non-drop balls, and it can be like, oh, right, okay. It's a bit... You
for sure. No, 100%. And as well, it's like, if you bring on all the travelling and all the commitment, at uni, like we were going from Leeds, we were going down to like Cardiff for the day, play a game, and then come all the way back. Or like the travelling is just
midweek
insane.
as well.
Midweek, most of
Wednesdays,
it's Wednesdays, and you've got lectures in the morning and things like that. But at the time, like I didn't really mind. But then you go into, especially what the division that Jays are in now, like you're sacrificing. Yeah, you're sacrificing your training Tuesday night, Thursday night, and then you're going up to Sale on a Saturday, and you're there all day, and then you come back, and it's Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. And you got one day, and then you're beaten up to shit, and you're going home on a Sunday, like early Sunday morning. Maybe after having a couple of beers, and then that's it, and then you're back to work on Monday. So it is a lot to sacrifice to.
It's all your free time in the season.
It is, yeah.
You don't have any bandwidth for anything else.
No, and some people, like our good mate Tom Kendrick, he's still playing now. Obviously you're great, right, mate. That he's the definition of a sportsman. Him and Toby Seal for sure, but him especially, like number one cross country runner or something.
Tom was I reckon he is the best runner and I see loads online now. You have kids that are training like pros, and his dad really put him forth with
Ed did a lot.
Ed was involved a lot in rugby, like taking over a lot of places. Some people a bit unhappy.
For sure.
You know, Ed got he got banned from the track for one of the meets because he was basically it's very different to.
He's scouting other people out.
It's all about Tom. So Tom was 11 at the time, and he wanted to run it was a 600 meters you run when you're or under 11. So you must have been 10 years old. Before you go to under 13s, you run a 600, which is the equivalent, like, younger lads and girls equivalent of your 800 meters.
Yeah.
And Tom was going for the fastest time in the UK at the time. And Ed, basically, there's electronic timing. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't really dispute it. So a lap and a half of the track. First of all, Ed was on the inside of the track, which you're allowed to be, but you're not allowed to cheer from the inside of the track. Like in America, you have people on the inside, and it makes the atmosphere so much better. Right. Bit of a silly rule, but it's like you're not allowed to do that. But he was also.
But why is that though?
I don't know, but I think it's just interfering. With it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But it was
all right.
Not really allowed to cheer from the inside of the track, but he was also calling out times, which is there's already a timekeeper, but he's specifically calling out times for Tom on the inside of the track. Tom's also 10 years old. Ed's got 2 stopwatches, right? He's got 2, one in each hand.
It's so Ed though. It's so Ed. I'm actually surprised that it's just exactly what Ed's like.
And Tom crosses the line. He runs 1:43.2, which for a 600 meters at the age of 10 is an unbelievable time.
Yeah.
And it's a club record. It's the fastest in the UK, like by a good few seconds. Fantastic. Great. Tom's like, yeah, brilliant, class. His dad, Ed, comes over. He's come over to all of the officials they also time keep up on like the little steps by the finish line. Because if the timekeeping, like the electronic timing fails, it goes to them. And he's showing them his 2 stopwatches. And he's got them at 1:42.88 and 1:42.87.
Right.
So like 3/10 quicker than what the electronic timing is. And he's disputing the timing. He's saying like, look, I've got these 2 times and they're 100th out and this is what he's run. Clearly the way that time works is I could have 2 stopwatches and it says at like 1.4 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not like it's got nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
But he then I think gets banned for the next meet. Which is interfering.
It does
so much.
it is he
Tom's
is
a freak, man.
Tom is an absolute freak. But no, he's always been a good sportsman. Same because I saw Toby the other day.
Is he still playing on the wing or
mate? Yeah, he's still starting winger. He was playing. He started at centre the other week.
Yeah,
but no, but as I say, pressure makes diamonds with like people like Tom. Like it's great. He hasn't gone the whole way as much as he wishes he could. I'm sure maybe one day he will, but. For me, it was just the right time for me to sort of step away. I'd done 21 years. I played since I was like 4. Every season, without fail, I would play. It was just I think my sort of time is up. I'm going to play while I'm home. I'm going to play Sevens tournament. Yeah, I think it's not this weekend. Next following, just a local pub sort of Sevens, just for a bit of a run around. But I've missed the.
When is that?
When?
Yeah.
2nd of May.
Yeah, long weekend on the Sunday. So yeah, I'm. But as I say, when I'm on the boats and sort of like I miss just fucking giving someone the jab or whatever. Like just you miss that contact. So I need to try and find something else because you do go crazy sometimes.
It's hard to replicate.
Yeah, it's hard to replicate for sure.
I mean, don't be doing it out and about.
Don't be tackling random people, especially in America. You could be dead. Yeah. But no, the rugby led pretty well into me being in gym savvy and so. But what sort of clicked it was I was always into the gym, but like not as much as like I am now at all. I used more gym to help me play rugby. When that sort of started to fizzle out, I'd use a gym quite a lot to sort of take it over, use my time a bit better. But I came here, must have been 2023 January or something. I was going through a bit of struggles at the time with ex-girlfriends or what have you, and guy helped me out with a program and sort of dialed me in for
3 months.
It was something like 3 months or something.
You've seen the progress photos.
The progress photo. Yeah, that was. I was. Mate, that was it. Like it was like the day after everything had sort of happened.
Oh, so it wasn't even like you take a photo and you're like, right, act sad.
No. I was actually like sad, and I looked a lot more grinny in that second one. But no, it was, and then from there, because then I finished uni later that year. And then that's when I ended up coming down here to start working. And then as we were talking about rugby, I was playing rugby and working here at the same time, semi-professionally. And then, so that's just sort of caught me right up to where we are sort of now with all the previous conversation we've had. But no, it was a good way to meet Guy anyway. It was natural. Everything happens very naturally. Us loving rugby and sort of loving fitness and things, and the people that you've met over the years is just insane. Like even people like Will Diaz and people that like are never ever going to play professional rugby. Like you meet them and enjoy their company.
Hey, Diaz might have had a shot.
Sorry, Will, no way.
Will Diaz listened to this podcast. It's got reach.
It's got reach. He's doing that bevy thing in a couple of weeks, isn't he? I might make an appearance.
I wasn't even sure if it's still going, and then they've done another marketing.
They've got a party in May. Second week we should go.
Yeah,
we'll speak about it off this. But no,
fantastic. Well,
just checking. We've been chatting for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Lots to talk about. Harrison, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. I appreciate the invite. I hope this isn't too boring for everyone. But
it's interesting. I don't know.
It's interesting. It's I love being back, and it's nothing like home. I tell you, you appreciate, especially where we are now, a lot more than just being in. I wouldn't say Sin City, but you're in that bubble. Oh, mate, for sure, 100%. But no, I appreciate the time.
Cheers.
Amazing. Thanks
Cheers. No worries.
Thanks for listening, guys. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.